In today's video, I'm going to go over 5 common mistakes that beginners make when getting into lawn care and show you how you can avoid them. So let's get out of the weeds. Number 1, mowing too short. By far the most common thing I see beginners mess up whenever it becomes lawn care is they just mow their grass too short. Now when it comes to cool season grass, for the most part, you want to cut your grass up a little higher. I'll typically recommend either the highest or second to highest setting when it comes to our cool season grass. And the reason this is because we get really hot summers, and in those summers you want to be able to have your grass a little bit taller so it can help block itself from the shade, help hold in a little bit of the moisture because we're not getting as much rain. So you want to help hold in the moisture, help shade itself from the sun, and it's going to just be easier to maintain your grass. I know we've all seen those guys on YouTube and Instagram and some of these social media sites that just have these pristine lawns that are cut real short, just like a golf course. Well, the truth is there's a lot of extra work that it takes to maintain a lawn that short. For the average homeowner who wants to just have a really nice yard and not have to be out in it and mowing it every day and putting product on it all the time, you need to just raise your mower height up a little bit. Even if you're down way low, just raise it 1 or 2 notches. Even if you don't want to go all the way to the highest or second highest, just raise it up slightly and you will notice a big difference on how it looks. One of the most common things you'll see is people let their grass grow real tall and then cut it down real short. And what this is going to do is stress the grass out and make it look brown. So you're going to make your yard look worse than what it actually would if you would just mow it properly. So just raising that mower height up a little bit is going to make a big difference for your lawn. Number 2, no pre-emergent application. So when it comes to weeds, we're typically going to see 2 different types: broadleaf weeds and grassy weeds. Broadleaf weeds are going to be the weeds that look nothing like our grass, and you're going to typically see it in your yard, go grab a weed control, spray it on it, and kill it. But when it comes to grassy weeds, those are a lot more difficult to deal with, and primarily they're going to get taken care of through our pre-emergent application. Now what a pre-emergent application is going to be is it's going to be typically our first application of the year in the spring. So what it's going to do is create a vapor barrier that when any of the weed seeds try to start emerging, it's going to take them out there before you ever even see them. And so when you throw down your pre-emergent application in the spring, you typically don't see any of the benefits of it. You throw it down and it's like, okay, you throw it and forget it. But you're reaping the rewards in your June, July, and August when all our cool season grass is struggling, and then the weeds are getting ready to pop up and take over, and they hit that pre-emergent barrier, stopping them dead in their tracks and keeping you with a beautiful yard. Number 3, planting grass seed. Another thing I see time and time again is people just not understanding the proper way to plant grass seed. What you'll typically see is people just start buying grass seed year round, start throwing it in their yard, start throwing it on the bare spots, and just hoping everything will come up. That is just a great way to spend a lot of money and waste a lot of grass seed and to not see very many results. What you really want to do when it comes to grass seed, you want to have a specific plan in place. Now you're going to have some bare spots in your lawn and some different things that you want to kind of seed throughout the year, and that's fine. But never just go and grab seed and just kind of start throwing it in your yard or throwing it on a bare spot and hoping for the best. What you really want to do is be targeted with what you're doing with grass seed so that you can get the best results. When it comes to grass seed, knowing when to plant it is critical. Yes, you can plant grass in the spring because the temperatures are cool enough. The issue you run into with planting grass seed in the spring is that typically a lot of the weeds are starting to pop up then. So you have a lot of competition. So if you're planting a spot that's literally a bare spot, you're going to have weeds probably fighting to get into that spot before your good grass does. And it's a lot easier for those weeds to outcompete your good grass. Now when it comes to the fall, most of the weeds that we've already going to see for the year are already up and out there. So you're going to be a lot less competition for your grass, on top of better kind of temperatures and just a better climate overall for you to get the grass established before we go into winter. Now if you have small spots here and there, yeah, you can get away with doing it at pretty much any time of the year. The big thing to note is the grass seed needs consistent water. You do not want to let that grass seed dry out. So water it shallow and more frequently to keep that grass seed wet. So often when I'm walking through neighborhoods, I'll go and I see somebody planting grass seed because I'll see the straw blankets kind of over top of it and it's just bone dry. Or I'll just see people that just have grass seed sprinkled over top of their dirt, bone dry. And that's going to be a problem because the grass seed, you're giving it no chance. And so if you're going to plant grass seed, especially in the summer, plant it down there and keep that grass wet. Give that grass a fighting chance. Just throwing it down and hoping Mother Nature does the rest is not going to work out good, and you're going to see a lot of weeds in those areas. Number 4, regular fertilizer applications. When it comes to fertilizer, a lot of people just don't really know what they're getting into with it. You go see this big bag of stuff, you don't really know how much it's supposed to cover, there's a bunch of numbers on it, what do they really mean? And so like maybe somebody in the spring when you first see the lawn care stuff go out, you walk into one of your stores, just grab a bag of whatever lawn food and just throw it on your lawn, and then you're like, okay, that's good. That's not going to be a great strategy if you want to have a really nice yard. When it comes to putting down fertilizer, what you want to do is get into a regular schedule. I'd recommend typically between every 6 to 8 weeks putting down another application of fertilizer throughout the growing season, and this will help your lawn to get the adequate nutrients it needs to really thrive throughout the year. If you're just somebody who's getting a bag in the spring, throwing it on it, and then calling it good for the year, you're probably not doing your grass any favors, and you'd be much more better served to kind of get into a regular pattern with it. Or an easy way that I've talked about multiple times on this channel is follow a holiday schedule, starting around Easter all the way through Thanksgiving. As you get some of those major holidays, each holiday, just plan on throwing fertilizer down, finishing up near Thanksgiving, and then you can pick it back up again in the spring. If you kind of use this as a reminder, it'll help you to get into a regular habit of fertilizing your lawn. Number 5, and probably the most common mistake of them all, is not understanding that timing is everything when it comes to lawns. What you're going to see as we get into the spring each year, the big box stores are going to put out all their lawn stuff. You're going to see grass seed, fertilizer, disease control, insect control, weed killer, the whole thing. You're going to see it all just out there for you to buy. And if you don't understand the timing, this can allow you to put down applications in your lawn that aren't at the proper timing. Perfect example of this is when it comes to, say, insects like grubs. You'll walk into the store, see grub control there in February and March, and typically for us with cool season grass, that's not going to be the time where we're putting down a grub preventative. A lot of times that's going to be closer to kind of our Memorial Day in the end of May, kind of as we're getting closer to June, to really kind of do a grub preventative. But if you don't know this, you could just walk in the store, think it's time for it, and throw it down. So don't assume what you see in the store is what your lawn actually needs for the proper time of year. What you want to start to do is start to understand the timing of what we do. And typically with grass, all the timing is going to be based on soil temperatures. As the soil temperature fluctuates throughout the year, that's going to determine the timing of applications in the things that we're going to do to our lawn. So once you kind of learn your lawn and understand the timing of when it starts to see some of the struggles, what time last year did you start having problems with disease? And some of these things are going to help cue you in to the proper timing, because timing is going to be everything if you really want to kind of maximize your success in the lawn and not kind of run the risk of overspending or buying unnecessary product. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stick with me and follow through as I'll walk you through the timing of everything you need to know to have a beautiful lawn each and every year. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time when we get out of the weeds into a beautiful lawn.